The slasher flick genre was very popular in the 70s and especially the 80s. People seemed to enjoy the idea of a masked killer with supernatural abilities stalking and killing teenagers. Instead of covering any of those classics, let's refer to the slasher flick's original source, Psycho, the 1960 mystery film directed by Alfred Hitchcock. While many people deem this as a horror film, I would say it's more of a mystery film, but still contains a few horror elements. Most horror films are about a fantasy creature, like vampires, werewolves, possessed mummies, etc., but Psycho is more about a psychological threat. If you haven't seen this movie, I recommend that you do before hearing me review it, because this review will contain spoilers. The plot starts centering around Marion Crane, a secretary in Phoenix, Arizona, who steals $40,000 from her boss to run away with her boyfriend, Sam Loomis. However, a police officer gets suspicious about her intentions, but eventually she stops by the Bates Motel, run by Norman Bates, who has a difficult relationship with his mother. When Marion starts taking her shower, a shadowy figure pulls the curtain and repeatedly stabs her, leaving her to bleed out. This is easily one of the most recognizable scenes in film history. The stabbing, the constant cutting, the changes in camera angles, the shrieking string instruments from Bernard Herrmann, it's all there. But the real kicker is that nobody saw this coming. Marion was set up to be the main character, but now she's dead, so who's going to carry the story through now? Before this film came out, you weren't allowed to kill the lead halfway through. This part was so shocking that Alfred Hitchcock struck a deal with the theaters that they won't let people in after the movie's already started. Anyway, so now Marion's dead, Norman sees her corpse and cleans up the place, removing all evidence that she was even there. He hides the body and her stuff in her car and sinks it into a swamp. The next week, a private investigator is hired to solve Marion's mysterious disappearance. He stops by the Bates Motel and gains all the information he could from Norman, who wouldn't let the detective talk to his mother, which means Arbogast will have to head up to that big house to talk to her, but he ends up murdered. Alright, first Marion, now Arbogast. Hitchcock just loves killing leads, doesn't he? Eventually, Marion's boyfriend and sister head up to the Bates Motel to get to the bottom of this business. As it turns out, Norman's mother is nothing more than a skeleton, and when Lila figures that out, Norman was about to attack, but is stopped by Sam. Norman gets put in a holding cell, and a psychiatrist explains the whole deal about Norman and his mother. Mrs. Bates has been dead for 10 years, along with her lover, and Norman was the perpetrator. In order to create the illusion in his mind that his mother is still alive, he exhumed the corpse, and the mother is a bit of an alternate personality. When Norman gets attracted to a woman, the mother's side activates with jealousy. Before killing Marion and Arbogast, Norman, as mother, killed 2 young girls. Now it seems that the mother has taken permanent hold of Norman's mind, and it's viewed true when her voice in Norman's head protests that it was her son that was committing those murders. The film ends with a dissolve from Norman's face to the mother's skull as Marion's car is pulled from the swamp. Even today, I look at this scene in awe at how symbolic it is. The film is a wonderful experience from beginning to end. If you're still watching this, even though you haven't seen this movie, don't say I didn't warn you.